The apparition of Our Lady of Guadalupe, also known as the Virgin of Tepeyac, dates back to 1531, shortly after the conquest of Mexico. Today, the call to Our Lady of Guadalupe continues to be dominant symbol of expression in Mexican religiosity. Celebrating and recognizing it goes beyond faith itself. It is an act of national identity. Culturally, it constitutes an emblem, an axis around which believers and non-believers congregate. Mexican is Guadalupan. In the fourth apparition of the Virgin Mary to the Indian Juan Diego on the Tepeyac Hill, Our Lady told him to ask the Archbishop of Mexico, Fray Juan de Zumárraga, to build her a temple. Doubting, Zumárraga asked him for a proof. Juan Diego returned to meet the Virgin again to request the test. She asked him to pick flowers at the top of the Tepeyac Hill and wrap them with his cloak called tilma. Although due to the cold, in December it is difficult to find flowers, but when Juan Diego arrived, he saw a number of roses. He cut them and placed them in his cloak and took them to the bishop. When opening the tilma, the roses fell to the floor and the impression of the image of Our Lady was seen on it. It is interesting to know that there are only two cloaks considered divine origin or sacred by the Church: the Holy Shroud of Turin and the tilma, also called ayate, of San Juan Diego, Our Lady of Guadalupe. The Virgin Mary of Guadalupe has the features of an indigenous maiden and is dressed in symbols relevant to the Mexican culture. The rays of the sun, the moon, and the four-petaled flowers on her dress were for the natives a sign of divinity. The cloak with the blue of the sky is a very evident color for the indigenous people because it was the color of the emperors. Therefore, she's saying that she's the empress of the sky. The natives did not consider it correct to look straight ahead. That is why Our Lady has her head bowed as a sign of reverence and respect. Her looks reflect tenderness and kindness. Her hands are joined in a Western attitude of prayer. The black ribbon that ties her hands and falls to the upper part of her belly means that she is pregnant, and let us remember that she appears a few days before Christmas. Below the ribbon, right on the belly, is the four-petal flower called Nahui Ojin, which is the highest natural Nahuatl symbol and represents the presence of God. The pink tunic represents the earth. In it, there are 9 Nahuatl flowers arrangements. They could represent the 9 pilgrim peoples who arrived from Aztlán, according to 1576 Codex. Scientific studies have shown that the 46 stars in the mantle are the constellations in the sky at the time the Mother of God appeared to Juan Diego on December 12, 1531. The symmetry of the flowers in the mantle mark the exact location of the main hills and volcanoes of the geography of Mexico. Applying mathematics, a perfect symmetry has been found, which is a musical score. The call to Our Lady of Guadalupe, called also the Queen of Mexico and the Empress of America, was built little by little as the Mexicans began to understand that she is the Mother of God, the only Savior of the world, and they knew that with God we always win.